Hey, welcome back to Clean Cut, where we can talk about the truth about just about anything, long as we use logic and common sense. This season, we're returning to the topic of the Psalms and their meaning. Now, a brief disclaimer before getting into this psalm. The Psalms will be numbered differently in different translations of the Bible. This is a very, very old discrepancy, and to help clear things up, I'll be explaining what number the psalm has in the Douay-Rheims Bible and in the Revised Standard Version. However, the episodes themselves will list psalm numbers as they're given in the Douay-Rheims Bible. Sorry if this is confusing. Anyway, this is Psalm 73 in the Douay-Rheims Bible, but Psalm 74 in the RSV. Understanding for Asaph. Again, Asaph was in charge of the service of music during the reigns of David and Solomon, and this indicates that this psalm contains some of his thoughts. O God, why hast thou cast us off unto the end? Why is thy wrath enkindled against the sheep of thy pasture? The psalmist feels like God is punishing them, and is asking for an explanation. Remember thy congregation which thou hast possessed from the beginning, the scepter of thy inheritance which thou hast redeemed, Mount Sion in which thou hast dwelt. Lift up thy hands against their pride unto the end. See what things the enemy hath done wickedly in the sanctuary, and they that hate thee have made their boasts in the midst of thy solemnity. This is a situation where the enemies of God have taken advantage, doing horrible things to some structure that the Israelites considered sacred, and bragging about what they'd done, right in the middle of the most sacred places. This probably wasn't the tabernacle, since there isn't any record of this happening to it, though. They have set up their ensigns for signs, and they knew not both in the going out and on the highest top. Their ensigns for signs means some kind of colorful flag or banner which the enemies of Israel planted to prove their conquest. This was apparently planted in some holy spot, since knew not implies that they didn't realize how sacred it was, or how much they should be treating the place with respect. As with axes in a wood of trees, they have cut down at once the gates thereof. With axe and hatchet they have brought it down. They have set fire to thy sanctuary. They have defiled the dwelling place of thy name on the earth. Whatever structure is being attacked here, it has gates, so it was probably either a palace or a city. It could be a real location being attacked, or this could merely be imagery, conveying the severity of an attack of another kind. In any case, a holy place is clearly implied to be the target, and is being attacked with axes and fire. They said in their heart, the whole kindred of them together, Let us abolish all the festival days of God from the land. Our signs we have not seen. There is now no prophet, and he will know us no more. The enemies of Israel actually planned to disrupt the ability to worship God, and hoped that their attack would accomplish that goal. This takes place during a time when no prophets exist, and generally, God did miracles when prophets, or other chosen ones, were present during this time period. The enemies of God therefore believe that no miracles will stop them from doing their evil. How long, O God, shall the enemy reproach? Is the adversary to provoke thy name forever? Why dost thou turn away thy hand, and thy right hand out of the midst of thy bosom forever? How long will it be before God makes the evildoers eat their taunting evil words? Why doesn't God take action with his right hand, his sword hand? But God is our King before ages. He hath wrought salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou by thy strength didst make the sea firm. Thou didst crush the heads of the dragons in the waters. Thou hast broken the heads of the dragon. Thou hast given him to be meat for the people of the Ethiopians. Thou hast broken up the fountains and the torrents. Thou hast dried up the Ethan rivers. God has saved people all over the world, parting the waters of the Red Sea, making the sea firm, destroying evildoers and large beasts, the dragons, in the sea, and allowing their remains to be feasted on by non-Israelites in other lands. Ethan rivers probably refers to the Jordan River, which parted for the Ark of the Covenant to pass. Thine is the day, and thine is the night. Thou hast made the morning light and the sun. Thou hast made all the borders of the earth. The summer and the spring were formed by thee. God created everything in nature, moon, sun, earth, and the seasons, and they all belong to him. Remember this, the enemy hath reproached the Lord, and a foolish people hath provoked thy name. Deliver not up to beasts the souls that confess to thee, and forget not to the end the souls of thy poor. Remember that evil people made fun of God and taunted him, and don't let the faithful be preyed on by them. Also remember to help save the souls of the poor. Have regard to thy covenant, For they that are the obscure of the earth have been filled with dwellings of iniquity. The obscure of the earth basically means people who don't receive honor due to being nameless bandits, brigands, or barbarians who nobody really knows about. They've been sinning an awful lot. Let not the humble be turned away with confusion. The poor and needy shall praise thy name. Don't let humble people get the worst of it, giving them a reason to question their humility. Instead, let the less fortunate praise God. Arise, O God, judge thy own cause. Remember thy reproaches, with which the foolish man hath reproached thee all the day. Forget not the voices of thy enemies. The pride of them that hate thee ascendeth continually. Remember how the enemies of Israel taunted God, and how their arrogance just keeps growing the longer that nobody does anything about it. This psalm is not a psalm of praise. It's not joyful, not really a psalm of gratitude, though it does contain descriptions of some of the great things that God has done in the past. These seem to be included as either examples or reassurances that God can intervene in the present as well. The main force of the psalm is a request that God will correct the wrongs done by evil men, who were enemies of Israel at the time, and restore justice to the faithful who trusted him. Remember, the Israelites of the time didn't really know about the heaven-hell dynamic, so this would have seemed like something that needed settling right away.
That's all for now, so keep asking questions, and thanks for watching.